Hey guys, I'm Brett Krager, and here's a hack for you to capture more clients at an open house. And the secret is preparation. It's as simple as that. You have to be prepared for your open house. Most real estate agents, when they do an open house, they just put a few signs out, market it on the MLS, maybe bake some cookies, put out a sign-in sheet, and then they sit back and hope people just give them their information. Most real estate agents have no idea how to actually provide value in an open house, and that's why most agents think open houses are a waste of time. If you can hone in your skills at an open house, it can be the #1 easiest lead generation that you do. Most agents are okay spending hundreds or thousands of dollars a month on internet leads to really only get 3 to 5 actual leads a month. But when you can get good at open houses, you can meet 3 to 5 really good, real live human beings that are really good leads every single week. But here's what you have to understand before this open house hack really makes sense. Most agents think that because they're the ones with the real estate license that they're the expert. But you have to understand that when a home buyer is shopping for a home, they are obsessed with the process. They might be looking at houses or reading articles about the market for hours a day. They're driving neighborhoods, they're having family members send them information, send them houses, and they quickly become an expert on that neighborhood or that market or that zip code or that school district. So if they walk into your open house and they know more about that area or that neighborhood or that zip code, or maybe they've even been in more houses in that neighborhood than you have, then you've immediately lost them and you'll never capture them as a client. If you want to make the most out of your time and have the most success at an open house, you have to be prepared. But what does that mean? Here are 2 ways for you to prepare for your open houses. The first one is be intentional with finding your open house. Do an open house in an area that you're already familiar with. An area where you live, where you grew up, where you went to school, where you have other clients looking, where you have listings. Anywhere else you might have extra knowledge, and you're gonna set yourself up to have more success in the open house. And I can already hear people saying, what if I don't have a listing in those areas? What if my brokerage doesn't have listings in those areas? What do I do? And I'm glad you asked. That's where you need to be intentional about finding your open houses. You don't have to just sit your listings. You don't have to just sit your brokerage listings. Most MLSs have what we call cooperation agreements. So you can reach out to other brokers and other real estate agents in your market and actually set their open houses for them. Now, not everyone is going to agree with this, and not everyone is going to allow you to do it. But if you reach out to 10 real estate agents, 5 to 8 of them are gonna let you set their open house. So go on to the MLS, draw a circle around the area that you want to work in, and then start calling real estate agents to try to see if you can set their open house. Small side note about this, I like to do 2 things. One, I like to find houses that are vacant. It makes it easier for the listing agent to actually allow you to have that open house. And 2, I like to find houses that are 14 days or less on the market. Higher probability that more buyers haven't seen it yet, and you'll get more foot traffic in your open house. Being intentional about finding your open house is so important. You should know where you're going to be sitting on a Sunday by Wednesday every single week. This gives you time to market the property correctly and do step number 2, which is preview houses around your open house. What I want you to do is look for 3 to 5 comps, comparable properties that are active on the market, and I want you to preview them. Go do a showing, walk through them, touch the countertops, walk across the floors, open the doors, see everything that house has to offer so that you can talk in an educated manner about that property and about that neighborhood and about that street. Here's how I like to structure those previews. I want to find one house that's smaller, maybe 100, 200, 300 square feet smaller. Maybe if mine's a 4-bed, find a 3-bed. If it's a 3-bed, find a 2-bed. One that's a little bit larger. So if it's 300-400 square feet larger, maybe if mine's a 3-bed, find a 4-bed. If mine's a 2-bed, find a 3-bed. One that's approximately the same size, maybe just a different floor plan, open floor plan versus closed floor plan, 1-story versus 2-story. Then find a fixer-upper in the area, something that needs a little TLC. It needs paint, it needs countertops, floors. And lastly, I want to either try to find a completely remodeled home that's really attractive in photos, or the newest listing I can find in that area. Something that's going to capture people when they see photos or when I talk about it. So that's a bigger one, a smaller one, a similar size but different, a fixer-upper, and a remodeled or a new listing. The reason we structure it this way is because no matter what feedback that buyer gives you in that open house, you have a direction to pivot. So when you ask for feedback at the open house, the buyer's gonna say, it might be a little too small for us, perfect. Or they might say, it might be a little too big for us, perfect. I like it, but I really have an open kitchen, perfect. It's a nice home, but I'm hoping I can remodel something to make it our own, perfect. It's great, but I really don't wanna do any work to this house, perfect. No matter what feedback they give you, you can bring up one of the properties you previewed And now you've got a carrot on a stick for that buyer, and you can talk to them about that property. You've already got it locked and loaded. You can ask them if they've seen that house, if they've been in it. If they have seen it and have been in it, and you can talk to them about that, that makes you look like an expert because you know as much or more than them about that market. If they haven't seen it, perfect. You can use that as a carrot on a stick to get their contact information, set up a showing to go walk through it because it could be a perfect house. Actually, what to say and how to get the contact information is a whole nother video I'm going to try to go over. These are just ways to prepare for that conversation. Not only do you know about these houses, but you've walked through them. You know intimate details that you cannot see from photo. This allows you to be the expert of the subject matter of that neighborhood. Nowadays, with all of the home search websites, buyers don't feel like they need real estate agents anymore. So that's why it's your job to be an expert on the subject, not just a door opener. The more houses you go in, the more familiar you are with a neighborhood or an area, the more valuable you become as a real estate agent. That's why previewing properties is so valuable. Not only does it give you information for that open house, but it expands your horizon in the real estate industry. I was able to become an expert in my city because over a period of time, I was going in 10 or 20 houses a week with all my clients and with all my open house previews. And I promise you, the more houses you go in, the more times you walk through a house with a client, the more times you have open house conversations with a potential client, the more your knowledge is going to grow and the more valuable you're going to be to your client. Use this as an opportunity to grow your knowledge and grow your experience and increase your probability of capturing clients at open houses. An open house is the most dynamic lead generation opportunity you have. Think about it in any other sales industry where you have clients coming into you and you can actually capture their information and sell them anything, not just that house, not just a house in that neighborhood, any house in the city or the state you can show them, and they're coming to you. All you have to do is provide value and capture their information. Hopefully this hack helps you prepare for your next open house and can help you capture that client and sell that next house. Good luck, guys.